Hey guys, now in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a hybrid storage solution for all your pictures, your important documents. Let's face it, there's a lot of digital stuff that we're using now. Hey guys, now in today's video, we're going to take a look at a hybrid storage solution for all your digital content. Pictures, movies, all the things that you're taking photos of and recording that you'll want to store because you're running out of space. And this is a product from Terramaster. This is the D8 Hybrid. This is a storage solution that's going to allow you to store up to 128 terabytes. 128 terabytes worth of storage. 128 terabytes, that's a lot. And that's putting it lightly. We'll go ahead and check out the product. We'll take a look at some of the features. And again, this is a first look. This is going to be a product that's going to be available very shortly. They do have a campaign that they'll be launching, but they also have a long history and line of products that fall into a similar category. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, the D8 is a hybrid storage solution. It actually has an 8-bay hybrid RAID enclosure that can support up to 128 terabytes. Yeah, that's a lot. And it supports two models that actually is working at the same time, right? It has a hot and a cold storage model. Literally, you have NVMe's, which is going to be memory-based, no platters rotating, which is considered hot. And then you have a cold storage, which is your standard hard drives, your rotary drives. It's basically going to be your cold storage. Speeds on this guy is super fast. We're talking 10 gigabit speed with the right environment. And if you think about what is your combination between SATA drives and NVMe drives, you can expect to get 96 terabytes of SATA storage and then 32 terabytes in NVMe. Remember, we were talking about hot and cold, right? So again, 32-bit or 32 terabytes of hot storage, and then you have 96 terabytes of cold storage. Now, you also get a free application that's called the Backup Buddy for Windows. And for those of you who are using a Mac, and we're a mixed environment ourselves, you can use a combination of this solution and also Time Machine, which is in the Mac, to do any kind of backups. Now, you'll notice that we're focusing on the USB 3.2 Gen 2 connection because this is not a network-enabled device. This is actually a physical connected device that will connect to your machine or to, let's say, a NAS to expand the NAS. This is not considered a NAS. This is considered a storage solution. Now, it's super quiet too at only 21 decibels of noise. And 21 decibels of noise is literally, it's like white noise. It's whisper quiet. You won't hear it. If it's on your desktop or if it's on the floor, it's not something that's going to bother you because it is so quiet. Now, you do have multiple modes that you can operate this RAID enclosure. One of them is the GBOD, which combines all your drives to one large drive. No data protection. There's no backup taking place. And that means that if you had 4 drives in there, including the NVMe, it's just going to look like one on there. So if you think about your computer or your Mac, if you have a D, E, or an F, you just see a D because there's no separation. Everything is combined to one mega drive. Now, you also have a single mode. And if in single mode, what happens is every drive that's in the slot, including the NVMe, is looked at separate. So you would see E, F, G, H, I, J. Just think about it just like that. You also then have a RAID 0, which divides it into smaller segments and distributes it across all drives. But there's no data protection, right? Now, RAID 1, that's kind of like the preferred. With RAID 1, it splits the drive into 2 halves, storing one that's used for storage and the other one that's used for backup. So as you're using the drive, you'll be actively working on one half of the drive, and then on the second half of the drive, you'll be backing up automatically. And again, this is completely transparent. You're not doing anything. The drive is doing this for you. Now, one other thing I like about the solution is that with the exception of the NVMe's, putting in a hard drive, there's no tools required. It's literally everything snaps in. So let's take a closer look. You can see what I'm talking about. Now, in the box, you're going to get your enclosure. You're going to have a power brick, which is decent size, and then you'll have a fast USB-C cable. Now, looking at the enclosure itself, we'll start on the back. So you do have some screws that I've removed right here that are, because I want to be able to show you the NVMe slots. You do have your power port here. You have a USB-C cord or port here. This is what you're going to connect to your computer. Or if you have a NAS and you want to expand your NAS to give it more storage capability, you would connect it here. This is where you would turn this. They come with a little small screwdriver that you can turn this dial to choose the type of array that you're wanting to set up. And, pretty much there's all that's to it. You see that it has a large fan in the back. Don't worry, this thing is quiet, really, really quiet. So that's nothing to be concerned about right there. On the bottom here, there's a couple other things that you're going to see going on, and that is, and let's flip it here, you'll see that you have some rubberized feet, which are really nice. That's going to keep things in place when you have it on your desk. I'm going to flip it over to look at the front. And on the front here, we have your bays. Now, your bays are pretty simple, right? All you do is you pull out like this, and then if you pull this out, you're going to be able to get access to your drives. That simple. Now, these are going to be the 2 drives that are going to be your RAID drives, and then these are going to be your single drives, right? And they all operate and look the same, except that when you look at the software or the actual user guide, you'll find that these are the ones that you'll be using for your RAID 0 or RAID 1. Now, another thing that I'll highlight is that the unit doesn't have an operating system on it. So I've seen other solutions where there's like an operating system on this. There is no operating system, right? This is a drive-based solution, and the NAS, if you consider a NAS is where there's software typically. This is just storage, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pop this drive out just to show you something. So let's go ahead and put this to the side for a second. So here I have, and you know, Iron Wolf is a brand that you typically look at when you're doing storage solutions. And this is a 6 terabyte drive. And what I like about this is that there's no tools whatsoever required to put this on. So it was really, really simple. I'm going to pop out another drive here just to show you. So the drive basically has all these pieces, and you can see the little things right here. They basically snap into place. So you place your drive in here, and then this cover right here pops out just like you see it like this. And then it has these little connection points in there. And once you have your drive in, you just press it in, snaps in place just like that. I love that. You know, I was going to take out a screwdriver, I'm going to start, you know, putting on screws. No screws required in this specific, you know, implementation, right? So we're going to go ahead and put this drive back into place, right? We'll go ahead and align this. Let me go ahead and align this nicely so that we can get this in. And then I'll show you how the NVMe's go in. Now, inserting your drive is pretty straightforward. You know, it's a little bit heavier with this one, so it slides in a lot easier. That's pretty much all there is to it. You want to take it out, you push here, and then you pull back. That's how nice it is. Obviously, if you have this functional, I would power it down before you take out drives. Don't want to do it when it's on. Now, on the side here, I removed some screws, and I just wanted to show you where the NVMe's go. Let's go ahead and pop this open. And what you'll see here is your NVMe slots. Now, this is the only area that requires some tools, but really, I'd say it doesn't because it's thumb. You could actually use your fingers just to loosen these screws, and you don't have to take it all the way out. All you do is loosen it slightly so that you can place your NVMe in the spot according to which one you're wanting to occupy. So what does it take to put an NVMe into this? Well, it's pretty simple. All you do is you take your NVMe, just like I have right here, this drive. You can loosen this. I'll go ahead and take it off if I want. Let's go ahead and loosen that. Bring it down, just like that. And then what you'll do is, once you have that pushed into place, you'll tighten the screw. You'll notice it just goes right here, and that's all there is to it. Now, once you've tightened everything up, this is what it's going to look like. So here I have the drive in. All I did is tighten this. No screwdriver, no tools at all required. The only thing, like I mentioned, that required a screw was the actual removing these 2 screws that you have right here to expose this area. Once you've opened this up and closed it, I don't see you opening this up again unless you're going to add more space or more drives, as I did here. All right, so this is the backup software that is provided free of charge. And this is for Windows, right? And remember, for the Mac, you'd use the Time Machine. But here, it's pretty capable, right? So first of all, you have home, you have backup, and you can do a system backup, disk backup, file backup, partition backup. Look at this, even an Outlook backup, cloud backup. You have the ability to do a synchronization, which is one of the things I really like. So this is two-way sync. This is going to be great, especially if you want to be able to, again, have a directory on your machine that you just back up. So here you just add the folder, right? And then it goes through the syncing process. You have the ability to do restore. You have the ability to do a clone. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you can do a clone for a drive. And then you have some additional tools where you have like storage management and all the items right here. So cool free software that allows you to back up Windows, both drives and folders. Now, the next thing we're going to do is a speed test. And I just want to see how quickly it's going to be able to take this file that I have here. And this is a video file, right? It is 3 gigs. I'm going to just drop it onto the drive. So the actual, again, D8 is recognized as T7 over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag it. Notice right here, let's go ahead and see how long it takes. That's 3 gigabytes.
Wow. That was fast. That was super fast. So you saw how fast it was able to copy just one file. And even though that was, again, a 3 gigabyte file, I'm going to grab 280 items. And that is going to be 12 gigabytes. And we're going to see how quickly we can transfer 12 gigabytes. And let it go. And it started. And 12 gigabytes, this is impressive. This is going really fast. Check that out. All that content coming across. So there's a mixture of programs, 3D printable files, movies, pictures, all coming across 12 gigabytes worth. As it slows down, it's probably grabbing some of those really large files, but this still is pretty fast. Right now at the 60% mark. Now, the cool thing about something like this is, once again, the fact that you can have this connected via USB-C to your computer. And then again, if you do have a NAS, this is going to expand the storage capacity of your NAS. It's currently running. I just can't hear anything. It is like super duper quiet. There's no high-speed fans running on this. And we're putting it to work, right? As we're copying these files over, we're making it work. And I'm not hearing any difference in how the D8 is processing as these files are going across. Now, on the solid state drive, I will hear occasionally the solid state drive kind of like, make a little noise, as drives do. But outside of that, it's whisper quiet, right? It's not the unit itself that's making the noise. It would be the drive and your drive choice. So we're looking at 97%. This is pretty good. And again, aha. So I was trying to copy over something it doesn't like. So we're going to go ahead and skip that. And there you go. That was great.
So guys, that wraps up our first look. See you in the next video.